You thought you were getting better. And then one morning, for no reason at all, it hit you harder than the first day. That doesn't mean you failed. It means nobody told you the truth about what healing actually is. You know that feeling you had a good week, maybe even a good month. You started to believe the worst was behind you. You smiled again, genuinely. You made plans. You felt the ground beneath your feet for the first time in what seemed like forever, and then it came back. Not slowly. Not with a warning. It came back like a wave you didn't see coming, sudden, total, suffocating. And the cruelest part wasn't the pain itself. The cruelest part was the voice inside your head that whispered, "You should be over this by now." So you pulled away. You stopped telling people how you were actually doing. You smiled at the right moments, said the right things, performed the version of yourself that everyone needed you to be. Because admitting you were struggling again, after you'd already been struggling, felt like failure on top of failure. You started measuring your healing like a straight line on a graph, going up or going down, getting better or getting worse, progress or relapse. And every time the pain returned, you believed you were back at zero. But what if the line was never supposed to be straight? What if the way you've been measuring yourself has been wrong? Not for weeks, not for months, but from the very beginning. Here is what they don't teach you. Here is what nobody says out loud. Healing is not a staircase. It is not a straight road leading from broken to whole. It does not move in one direction on a schedule according to anyone's timeline, not yours, not theirs, not the one you found online that promised you'd feel better in 30 days. Healing is a spiral. You will return to the same places, the same memories, the same ache in your chest at 2 in the morning. But here is what changes. You change. Each time you return, you are not the same person standing in the same fire. You are someone who has survived that fire before. Someone who knows, even in the worst of it, that they have come out the other side. The difference between someone who heals and someone who doesn't is not talent. It is not willpower. It is not even time. It is this: the person who heals keeps going even when going back feels like going backwards. Think about that. You have been interpreting your pain as evidence that you haven't changed. But pain, returning doesn't mean you haven't changed. It means you're human. It means there are layers to what you carry, and some of those layers only surface when you are finally strong enough to face them. The mind is not cruel when it brings old pain back. It is ready. It is saying, you can look at this now. You couldn't before, but you can now. What you call a setback, the sleepless night, the tears that came from nowhere, the days where everything felt impossible again, what you call regression, is often the deepest part of the healing doing its most important work. You weren't going backwards. You were going deeper, and nothing that goes deeper can come back the same. There is a Japanese art form called kintsugi. When a piece of pottery breaks, instead of hiding the cracks or throwing the piece away, the Japanese fill them with gold. Pure gold. They don't pretend the break never happened. They make the break the most beautiful part of the object. They make the wound the work of art. The philosophy behind it is radical. The broken places are not flaws. They are history. They are proof of survival. They are where the light enters. Now think about what you've been doing with your own breaks. You've been hiding them. You've been covering them with busyness and performance and the relentless forward motion that our culture rewards. You've been treating your pain like a manufacturing defect, something to fix, to eliminate, to apologize for. But what if your cracks were always meant to be filled with gold? The grief you couldn't shake, the relationship that unmade you, the version of yourself you had to let die to survive. What if those weren't detours from your path? What if they were the path? Here is the first thing nobody tells you. Healing requires revisiting. You cannot heal what you refuse to feel. And most people don't refuse to feel because they are weak. They refuse to feel because they were never shown how to sit inside pain without being destroyed by it. They were told to move on, to get over it, to be stronger than it. And so they buried it, not knowing that buried things grow roots. Here is the second thing nobody tells you. There is no timeline. We live in a world obsessed with speed. Faster recovery, faster growth, faster everything. And somewhere in all of that speed, we decided that healing should be fast too. That grief has an expiration date, that trauma follows a schedule, that at some point you should simply be done with it. But the people who healed the deepest wounds, the ones who came through the fire and became something extraordinary. They did not rush. They did not perform recovery for an audience. They sat with their pain long enough to understand it. Long enough to ask, what is this trying to teach me? Long enough to let the answer change them. You cannot rush the seasons. Winter does not apologize for existing. It does not hurry itself to become spring because spring is more comfortable to be around. It stays. It is cold. It is still. And beneath that stillness, beneath the frozen surface and the gray sky and the silence, everything is quietly preparing for what comes next. You are not broken. You are in winter. And here is the third thing nobody tells you, the one that will change everything if you let it. The days you fall apart are not wasted days. We are conditioned to believe that only progress counts. Only the days we feel strong, only the days we perform well, only the days we check the boxes and move the needle, those are the days that matter. The rest are failures, time lost. But the day you sat on your bathroom floor at midnight and didn't know how to keep going, that day changed something in you. The morning you cried in your car before walking into a life you weren't sure you could carry, that morning left a mark inside you that no good day ever could. The night you asked yourself, who am I now after all of this? That night cracked you open in a way that allowed something new to enter. You were not falling apart. You were being rebuilt, not by your victories, not by your best days, by your worst ones, by the moments of absolute honesty that only pain can produce. Those moments are not detours, they are the work. And the work is never wasted. I want you to hear this. Really hear it. The version of you that existed before all of this, before the loss, before the break, before whatever cracked your world open, that version of you did not have what you have now. They had comfort. They had certainty. They had the luxury of never having been truly tested. But you have been tested. You know what it is to lose the ground beneath your feet. You know what it is to rebuild a sense of self from the wreckage of one that didn't survive. You know what it is to smile while carrying something no one around you can see. You know what it is to keep going when every signal inside you was screaming to stop. That knowledge is not a wound. That knowledge is armor. The people who have healed from the hardest things don't walk around talking about how broken they once were. They walk into rooms and something shifts. There is a weight to them, a presence, a stillness that only comes from having survived your own storm. People feel it without being able to name it. They call it strength. They call it depth. But you know what it actually is. It is the gold in the cracks. You are going to have more bad days. I am not going to lie to you and tell you the hard part is over. You are going to wake up on mornings that feel like the beginning again. You are going to face moments that reach back into old wounds and press hard. You are going to wonder, again, if you are making any progress at all. And in that moment, in that exact, specific, crushing moment, I need you to remember this. Returning to the wound is not the same as living in it. You are not the person who first received that wound. You are the person who survived it, who came back from it, who built something on top of the rubble. You are the person who is still here, still trying, still reaching, still refusing to let the hardest chapters become the last ones. That is not weakness. That is the most extraordinary thing a human being can do. You want to know what real healing looks like? It looks like a Tuesday afternoon when something reminds you of the worst time of your life. And instead of being consumed by it, you feel it, you breathe through it, and you keep moving. It looks like crying and then eating, falling and then standing, forgetting who you are, and then slowly, piece by piece, choosing who you want to become. It does not look triumphant. It does not look like a movie moment. It looks quiet. It looks ordinary. It looks like someone who has decided, without ceremony, without applause, without anyone watching, to keep choosing themselves. That is the moment. That quiet, invisible, ordinary moment, that is where your life actually turns. Not in the grand gesture, not in the perfect morning. In the moment you decide, again and again, that you are worth the effort of continuing. You are worth it. You have always been worth it. And one day, not today, maybe not tomorrow, but one day, you will look back at this exact season of your life, this painful, non-linear, beautiful, brutal season, and you will understand. you will understand that you were never falling apart. You were always being made. Healing is not the absence of pain. Healing is the slow, quiet, stubborn decision to carry it differently. To stop treating the spiral as a sign of failure and start seeing it for what it is, evidence of depth, evidence of honesty, evidence of a life that has actually been lived. The line will never be straight, and that is not a flaw in your process. That is the nature of becoming. Give yourself the one thing the world forgot to give you: permission. Permission to not be okay every day. Permission to come back to the same hard places and cry the same hard tears and still believe that something in you is moving forward, even when you cannot feel it, even when the evidence seems to say otherwise. Because beneath every winter, beneath every frozen, still, silent season, something is preparing to bloom. You are not behind. You are right on time. If these words hit different today, share this with someone who needs to hear it. They may not be able to say they're struggling, but you sending this says everything. And if you want more of this, subscribe to Unbroken. We drop new videos every week.